What's up guys, welcome back to Destiny Updates for another Bungie Mail Sack Breakdown. I'm really sorry for being so late on this one, I know it's really bad, but I hope you guys will excuse me this time because it was my birthday over the weekend, so I took a little bit of time off. And then I also wanted to prioritize yesterday's video, the Edge magazine breakdown, because I thought that was a bit more important. But I hope you guys understand and won't mind too much. One more thing real quick before I get into this week's mail sack. I'm sure you guys noticed my new intro on this video. There's also a new outro at the end and it all matches my new avatar and channel background. That was all made by my friend Wang Time and he did a great job on it, so big thank you to him. You can find a link to his channel in the description below. He does a lot of Halo videos and some cool stuff, so go check him out. Also, make sure you let me know in the comments if you like the new channel overhaul. Anyways, with all of that out of the way, let's get right into it. This week starts off featuring the winner of last week's contest. We've got a pretty badass poster here, an edit from the Star Trek movie. Props to the artist there, that looks really awesome. But anyways, skipping ahead a bit here, let's get to the first question, which comes from Modern Archer 13, who asks, how do you decide what questions you're allowed to answer? Deej says, first I read them. That's right, I read all of them. Sometimes there are hundreds of them, depending on how soon I cinch the mail sack and bring it behind closed doors. The rest of the answer didn't seem too exciting. Mainly I just wanted to point out that he does read every single question, which is pretty awesome. He actually pointed that out in a mail sack many weeks or months ago, but I'm sure a lot of you haven't seen that, so it was worth pointing out again. And actually, if any of you guys want to ask questions, all you need is a Bungie.net account. They post a sort of forum on a private group every week where you can ask questions. The sack is opened every Monday, and I usually find it via Twitter, just at Bungie, and then I also retweet it shortly after, so if you follow me, you'll get it there, but to be honest, you should be following Bungie. I also sometimes tweet out or retweet other interesting little things that are not enough to put into videos, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, you might, get a few cool little things, but you can find links to all that in the description. Enough of all that though, onto the next question, which comes from Malfer. He says, can a AAA game truly be innovative? Or is it the independent game developer that needs to innovate before a concept can be accepted by the larger developers? Deej answers, you make us sound like an old favorite uncle who can barely touch his toes anymore. Bungie is young and spry, barely into our 20s. We still have risks to take. Anyone who spends more time thinking about how things could be than how things are can innovate. Anyone who throws out their old way of doing things can innovate. Anyone who thinks they can float above the high watermark can innovate. Anyone with a refrigerator filled with energy drinks can innovate. The fact that we have a massive infusion of new blood doesn't hurt either. Nothing makes an old dog learn new tricks faster than an eager puppy who tries to claim the ball. So that's definitely pretty cool to hear that Bungie is not a stale old developer that has to stick to the old ways. They are open to innovating and taking risks, which they've actually talked about before, that Destiny is actually quite a high-risk project. But that's always nice to see. On to the next question. Hazel Noopy asks, for all those new Bungie employees who joined on your guys' Bungie Day, is Destiny just what you imagined it to be, or 1,000 times better? Now there was mainly one answer I wanted to feature here from Kevin Yanes, who says, I started the day of the Sony E3 press conference. I came in with just as much knowledge as you all have and was just floored. So I thought that was pretty damn awesome. Next up, Swasher asks, will Bungie be at PAX Prime this year? Deej says, we're at PAX Prime every year. You can't scream in this town without a Bungie person hearing you. There are many of us, and we're everywhere, lurking in every neighborhood. If you're about to explore the Seattle Convention Center, we'll see you there. Look for us in the public events. Now, I'm honestly not sure whether that means they'll have a booth at PAX or whether they'll just be there as gamers. Maybe some of you who have actually been to PAX can tell me. When they say public events, I don't exactly know what that means, but it almost sounds like it might be possible they're just going to be roaming around the convention center. But I would imagine they'd want to set something up to promote Destiny, so I'm confident that we'll see something there. On to the next one from N7 Argo. He asks, as the creators of Destiny and Halo, how does it make you feel when you see people cosplaying from the games you make? Secondary question, how do you like ours? And then he proceeded to show 2 pieces of awesome cosplay that they made. Deej says, wait, what? You look badass. What's that from? When did this happen? Were you at Comic-Con? Why are we only learning of this right now? Bravo, Guardians, you're looking mean, although you do need one more to complete your fire team. Now that actually makes me feel kind of bad, because N7 contacted me on Facebook a good while back, showing me pictures as they were building all of this, and we're actually waiting on some higher quality photos so I can feature it here on the channel. Anyways, if you're watching this, N7, you guys did a great job on the cosplay and I'm looking forward to the high-res images. Although I have to agree with Deej, if you found someone to be a Titan and had a complete fire team, that'd be sweet. Anyways, onto the next one. Loco Coco asks, in Destiny, when you look down towards your feet, can you see your feet and legs? Deej answers, yes, but we don't suggest that you spend a lot of time gazing at your shoes. That's not where you'll find the enemies who would just love to add you to their collection of dead guardians. To survive the missions we're laying out for you, it comes highly recommended that you look down the barrel of your gun. Now that's actually really cool to hear. It's kind of a nice little touch that adds immersion. It is kind of annoying when you look down in some games and you don't see anything, so that's pretty awesome. Now that was actually everything I found worth mentioning in this week's mail sack. I suppose it's a bit shorter than usual, but of course you can find a link to the full mail sack in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. And there is another community art contest yet again, so if you want to see about that, again, link below. Once again, I'm really sorry for being so late on this week's mail sack. I took a little break for my birthday, and then I also wanted to get that other video done first, which was quite a long process to do. It's a long video and heavily scripted, so that took quite a while. Anyways, I hope you guys understand and won't mind too much. I really appreciate it. One more time before we go, big thanks to Wangtime for the new graphics package on the channel. You can find a link to his channel in the description below. Anyways, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next update.